Welcome back to another review, this time for the anime. There's no freaking way I will be your lover. Unless, which had 12 episodes and was airing in summer of 2025. Synopsis from any list. Renako Amaori is leaving her awkward and lonely junior high school life behind, determined to become a normal girl with normal friends in high school. Glamorous, confident Mai Ozuka is Renako's total opposite. Wealthy, outgoing, and a literal fashion model. Against the odds, the two girls form an immediate connection. Renako thinks she may have found the best friend of her dreams until Mai's romantic confession sends her into a tailspin. Renako wants to prove to Mai that being BFFs is better than being girlfriends, but Mai is dead set on convincing Renako that they are destined to be your lovers. Let the love games begin. This show is a Yuri rom-com, and our main character, Renako Amaori, which is the pink-haired girl, she's a somewhat shy character, introverted. She does not have a lot of confidence, so she decides, hey, in high school, I want to change. I want to have friends, I want to be more outgoing. So she has her raid debut and she is more or less shooting for the stars. She is approaching Mai Ozuka, which is the blonde girl in the picture, and asking to be friends. Surprisingly, she agrees and invites Renako into the friend group, which is all the girls in the picture. Later on, we have, as the description states, this little confession from Mai to Renako. Now, Mai loves Renako and wants to be girlfriends. Renako wants to just be friends. Now, they decide to have a competition. Depending on Mai's hairstyle, if her hair is up, they have a friend day. That means they do whatever friends would do. And Renako can try to appeal to Mai to show her how good it would be to be best friends. Now, if Mai's hair is down, then it's a girlfriend day. And they do things that girlfriends would do. And Mai can then try to convince Renako how good it would be to be in a relationship. And maybe get her to fall in love with Mai. That is the setup. The main setup. Naturally, there's more happening. However, Renako, the shy, introverted one, Mai is the very confident, she's a fashion model, she's the cool type of character. She's pretty sure that Renako is going to fall in love with her. Because in her life, everything works out for her. She's that type of character. Now, the other three characters, we have Satsuki, which is the black-haired girl. She's the cool type. She does not really show emotion on her face. And also she sees Mai as some kind of rival. They do have like competitions, as example, test scores in these animes are being used to have this little rivalry. Additionally, we have, I'm so bad with names, Ajisai, probably pronounced wrong, which is the brown-haired girl. She's a big sister type. She's a lovely type. She's nice, cute. Again, the typical big sister type. And then we have Kaho, the small girl. She's very energetic. She's bouncing around. She would probably be the sporty type, even though I don't believe we have seen her being involved in sports. But again, the little brat kind of character, seemingly. Now, this is more or less the setup. I do like the characters. They are all, you can argue they are more or less cookie cutter characters. However, I do like their relationship. I do like how they interact with one another. And I like Renako somewhat. Some parts of her I like a lot. some parts of her I do not like. So take that as you will. There is more going on in the story. It's not only rom-com. Naturally, we have to have drama because romance drama always works well together. There were some scenes that are a little weird that I did not like. Overall, though, I like where this is going. It seems interesting. I did enjoy my time. Animation-wise, it's not a big action show, so we have some good animation. We don't need extra animation as we would need in like a Dan or Solo Leveling. Additionally, because we have such a big focus on comedy, the animators at least, try to support these comedic parts with some, different animation. You probably know what I mean, that whenever we have comedy, we don't need this high quality, fidelity, sparkly animation. We keep it a lot more simple so people know, oh, the comedy is not being distracted from by high fidelity animation or art style. I should have brought a sample for that. I forgot. Naturally sound good. Voice acting good. Can't really complain about sound ever. Now I do have a scene I would just showcase. Again, I should have got a comedic scene, but sure. So here we have our main girl Renako and Mai.
私同様小市民のお母さん、そりゃ動揺するよね。どうぞレナコを末永くよろしくお願いいたします。もちろんです。本当にあなたのお友達？お忍びでやってきた王族の方とかじゃなくて？レナコさんとはとても良いお付き合いをさせていただいております。言いやがった！今からマイとゲームして遊ぶから部屋に入ってこないでね。
Okay, surprising. But this is what I meant. We have like this little chibi animation here to just not distract from the comedy. Again, you also saw that there was not a lot of... We don't need Solo Leveling dun animation for these types of shows. It's more important for the characters to be developed, for the romance to work, and for the comedy to hit. And for me, this was pretty enjoyable. I am going to talk about some additional parts after the rating. Now, AnyList gave it 75%. My Anime List 7.7. I would say this is an 8 out of 10. It is pretty solid. Again, there were some parts, especially early on, I was skeptical about. However, where it goes, I like it. I just like it. It takes this, rom-com, Yuri rom-com, and it is doing some good work with it. Now, I'm going to talk about some other parts which are now spoilery, so you have been warned. Again, spoiler warning. So we have this relationship between Renako and Mai. Now Satsuki, which is the black-haired girl, she is in a rivalry with Mai. Now, we don't really know at this point in the show, whenever we get introduced to Satsuki a little bit more, how this rivalry is going really. Is it like a friendly rivalry or whatever? It goes so far that Satsuki then decides to date Renako to try and make Mai jealous. Or more or less, she tries seemingly to just grab Renako, to steal Renako from Mai. So that Renako is going to be in a relationship with Satsuki. and then this would in turn be her winning over Mai. Again, she seems to see Mai as a rival. We also saw some scenes that supposedly were not translated correctly and had a far deeper meaning than was shown. And again, we have this rivalry. Additionally, this seems to go into the harem route. Now, Renako, she was not really keen on doing this dating thing. There was a reason I already forgot that she agreed to this. Later on, we get into, I forgot the name, Ajisai or Senna, the older sister type character. And there we also seem to have like a spark going. Again, with Satsuki, the black-haired girl, we can't really tell how much she is really interested in Renako because she has that cold surface. But with Ajisai or Senna, the brown-haired older sister type, we can clearly see that she is interested in Rena or Renako. So, meaning that we have seemingly a harem, Yuri harem growing here. Now, Mai naturally, she's very confident. She's going to win. It doesn't matter who's going to come, she's going to win. Now, that is why Satsuki is trying to attack her and more or less try to steal Renako. And Ajisai is now on the sideline. Her character type, I like her a lot because she's very reserved. She's very self-sacrificing. Naturally, we also had to have the stupid confession being overrun by like a loud sound and people not hearing what was said, which is like, I don't like that one. However, we remedy that. Again, this is going to be a big spoiler, a massive spoiler. You have been warned. Last thing I want to say about the show, massive spoiler. Now we have this competition between Renako and Mai. They are in a somewhat relationship, semi-relationship, whatever you want to call it. We also have Renako and Satsuki, which are in a somewhat relationship because she wants to try and more or less rival Mai. And then we have, at the end, Ajisai is confessing her love for Renako. And is, we have this nice little confession where she is in a park, Renako is coming up. Mai is there too. She more or less encouraged Ajisai to confess her love because Mai can't lose. Mai is going to win. So she's standing there. She's saying, Renako, I love you. Will you go out with me? And Renako naturally says yes. She says, yep, okay, let's go. Now, in the moment, I was a little bit surprised. However, it makes sense. Because now she's in a relationship with all three of these girls. We don't talk about Kaho. She does not exist, seemingly. And that is going to be interesting. Mai also was taken back a little bit because she can't lose. Everything is going to work out for her, right? However, it was in line with the show at that point that Renako is just swept along and seemingly in a relationship with three girls at the same time, which I don't know how she's going to explain that to her sister, because that is going to be very difficult. Again, enjoyed that part a lot, especially because the show decided to, hey, we are going all in. We are going to date everyone. I'm assuming we are also going to date Kaho at some point. I would assume she just joins in and is like, you are all dating Renako? I want to date her too. Because if you all do this, it is probably fun. So we do know there is going to be 5 extra episodes in November. Gonna be excited for that one.